I'm Eric Butts.
And I'm Jim Butts.
We are SuicideFantasyFootball.com, live from the War Room. Today we're going to give you our top 5 running backs. Now remember, when we're giving you this top 5, we're not talking about PPR. We're talking about yardage and touchdown legs. Jim, who are your top 5 running backs this year?
Number 1, I'm going with the guy who wasn't even in the top 20 list last year. I'm going Arian Foster. He's got a breakout this year. He broke out a little bit last year. He's going to excel, be the number 1 guy by far. Schaub and Johnson are opening up for him.
He was top 20 last year, but whatever.
Well, that's
low 20. So
Number 2, I'm going Chris Johnson. He's the home run hitter. I don't care who's playing quarterback or who's catching the ball out there. He's going to score 50, 60, 70-yard touchdowns, at least 5 of them for the year. I'm going there. Number 3, I'm going ADP. He's got the talent. Depending on how things go there, he could go higher, he could go lower. Joe Webb scares me. They haven't signed a quarterback. No free agents done yet. So this is just, talking July 15th, what we're looking at. 4, I'm going Jamal Charles. He was another breakout guy last year. I was a little concerned. I didn't think he was going to be the full-time back by week 3. He was there. They signed him to a big contract. He's there. And number 5, nobody's going to really have him on the list. I'm going Frank Gore. He's the everyday guy. They don't have another back there. He's first, second, third down back. I think he's going to get a lot of the carries. Their offense is pretty good. That's my top 5.
It's going out on a ledge with your number 5 being Frank Gore, but I wouldn't be shocked if Frank Gore had the 5th most amount of points in fantasy football running backs by the end of the year. So I'm going with my top 5. Some of the same people, a little bit of a different order. I'm going ADP still, Adrian Peterson, number 1 overall. I think it doesn't matter who's quarterback, kind of like Jim said with the Titans. I don't care who's at the helm, although I do think they are going to get a veteran like McNabb. I think it doesn't matter. Adrian Peterson's going to be the top scoring running back this year. Second, I'm going Arian Foster. I do agree. They've got Schaub. They've got Andre Johnson. They're never going to be able to put 8 in the box. But he's still a one-year wonder, and I could see that teams could start to figure him out a little bit. Even though he is the big bruising back that can hit holes, I like his style. Third, I've got Chris Johnson. I think if it's Rusty Smith who's his quarterback, Jim, it's got to hurt him. If it's the rookie Jake Locker that's his quarterback, it's got to hurt him. So I'm putting him at number 3. Number 4, I'm going Jamal Charles. And I won't be surprised if Jamal Charles at the end of the season does end up being the number 1 back. If Thomas Jones doesn't get any of those carries and he's carrying the rock 75 to 80% of the time, he could be the number 1 dude when it's all said and done. My 5th, taking a little bit of a flyer on him, another guy who wasn't in people's top 20 last year, but did well, and I'm going Darren McFadden. Run DMC in that offense. If it's not PPR, even though he does catch some out of the backfield, I love him. I think he puts up 1,500 yards this year.
The only thing I'm scared about with McFadden is I think Michael Bush is going to take away some of his goal line carries, and it might hurt him in points. He's got the talent definitely to be a top 5 guy.
Well, something else I'll tell you, Jim. I was talking with Willie T. I don't know the guy's name, but Willie T., William Thomas, who's one of the scouts for the Raiders,
back that they drafted,
says that they drafted a running back that don't be surprised if he takes a lot of Michael Bush's carries and even gets some of Darren McFadden's. I still think he's top 5 yardage, touchdowns. I think he's the guy that's going to put up numbers.
No LaShawn McCoy, no Michael Bush. A lot of names not in my top 5 or your top 5.
Michael Bush, you would think about being in your top 5?
Bush.
Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Again, if it was a PPR league, you might consider guys like Ray Rice. You might consider guys like LaShawn McCoy. Touchdown, yardage, I'm sticking with my top 5.
I was thinking Michael Turner.
Michael Turner, okay, got it. Woo.
Kathleen Turner, Reggie Bush, George Bush, whatever.
I'm the wrong name guy, Jim.
I'm still sick.
All right, check us out, SuicideFantasyFootball.com. Follow us on Twitter, SFFcom. Facebook /Suicide Fantasy Football, and check out the Suicide Fantasy Girls. Trust me, it'll be worth your time.
I want to know what your top 5 is. Send me an email, jim@suicidefantasysports.com, and we might talk about it Wednesday night on our Blog Talk Radio show.
But know that we're probably going to make fun of your list.
Maybe.